Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of Avengers issue 8, and this was pretty cool. I liked how it finished up the kind of conclusion of the final host Dark Celestials arc, but also brought us forward into the next arc, and also just kind of solidified what's been going on with the team. So we start off and we see Robbie going up to New Avengers Mountain, talking to Gabe, being like, yeah, I hope you have fun at your job, that you'll be the coolest person there. And he's like, yeah, there's a lot more cool people here. And he gets there, and I love that Cap is the one that's introducing him and kind of training him and everything. He's like, yeah, you're really strong. You made a 2,000-foot Ghost Rider Celestial. We just gotta check and make sure everything works out. Telling him to call him Steve and everything, but of course, like, Robbie's a little bit overconfident, and Steve chucks his shield at him, pretty much getting ready to train and everything. And Robbie's still being like, oh geez, I don't think, when he first came in, he's like, I'm pretty sure this won't work out, but this will probably be fun. So they start sparring and everything, and Robbie, it's kind of cool to see Robbie trying to figure out what his kind of shtick is in battle, try to go at least a little bit for those Spider-Man lines. Not really Spider-Man lines. It's like trying to have those kind of witty kind of comebacks and just kind of going out and fighting Cap. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And while this is going on, we pan out and we see that Thor is trying to walk through this giant celestial trying to find a restroom. It's the great kind of joke that's running throughout this whole issue. It just works very well. So we then get to the explanation of why are they in a celestial? That's kind of odd. Well, we get into the after part. We see Loki kind of gloating and everything, talking about how he's gotten them back together and all that. And Thor being like, just wait until you get your comeuppance. But of course, the Celestials are being like, oh, we're going to grab him and do our own kind of justice or whatnot. But we don't know. This might have been part of Loki's plan as well. It's intriguing to see if that's brought up. But then the Avengers are like, oh god, what are they going to do now? But of course, Robbie's kind of got a link to him now since he's been in a Celestial because they want to give us a gift. And it's the progenitor. They can't bring it back to life after so long, but they don't want it buried either, so they decided to bring it up in the sun and have it be a beacon of hope and everything. That's why they've got Avengers Mountain and gifted it to the Avengers. I'm like, that's pretty kind of cool, but also kind of morbid a little bit. It's like, yo, this is our dead friend. Use him as your base. It's like, I'm just thinking about how I would feel in that situation. Now, granted, I'd be like, that'd be used as a good kind of thing, as a beacon of hope that heroes would be using it, flying out and trying to help people with everything. I'm like, yeah, it'd be cool, but it's still kind of a weird thing to kind of think about. It's like, okay, North Pole, giant celestial, that's pretty fucking cool. And I mean, how many times has the Avengers Mansion been destroyed? So many times. I'm really intrigued to see how somebody's going to try and blow this thing up. I mean, it's going to get damaged, but you're going to have to bring a big gun to blow it up. So, we switch on over and we see Tony and T'Challa kind of talking, trying to figure out what's going on with this whole thing, and how T'Challa be like, it's more online with like vestigials and like ventricles and everything, but we've been like working through and getting all this kind of stuff, and Tony's like, oh, I call the penthouse. He's like, well, if you can get past the robotic Panther guards, it's all yours. And then Tony's like, challenge accepted. I'm like, that's pretty kind of cool. That's pretty kind of funny and cool. So, we then go over and we see that Doctor Strange is talking with Jennifer, She-Hulk, and how her powers are kind of changing, that she has got more explosive potential, potentially kind of gamma bomb level kind of things, but she's looking at it more as a blessing, and that she doesn't want to run any tests. I'm like, okay, I don't really mind that, but that's more of a reckless kind of thing. It's like, oh, okay, it looks like the Hulk kind of personality that she's got's kind of leaning over a little bit onto hers, because I wouldn't mind testing out what my capabilities are. They're not saying that you are completely going to explode or anything or destroy everything, but like, you know, we got to test these new capabilities to see what you could do. And she's like, no, we'll just go with it and see what it is, because the Celestials needed like a full power, this new power level. So, okay, I'll have to see how that goes. Of course, Thor comes in and be like, I need a bathroom. And Jennifer's like, "Oh, we'll go to my quarters and everything." And of course, there's the awkward stuff going on with that. But I kind of like the pairing. It's going to be interesting to see Thor and Jennifer kind of together. It's an interesting pairing, so we'll see kind of what happens. I don't mind anything with it, so let's see how that goes. Strange, of course, is like, okay. And we'd also seen Strange talking with T'Challa, figuring out if um, being celestial vomit has any impact on anything. Where T'Challa's like believing that there are no accidents, but that he doesn't want to trust in his grand schemes of like celestial gods or whatnot, but instead to make his own. And Stranger's like, well, I kind of hope you keep that, T'Challa. I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good outlook. We then get to Tony and Carol. And this is the part that I kind of had an issue with. I had liked previously when we were going through that it was mainly just that they had headbutting issues and that they got through it, but that was in battle and stress. Here, Carol's acting like she's done nothing wrong and everything, and then it's all on Tony. And then Tony goes on to be like, oh, it's more sexual tension and everything, and I'm like, ugh. Because they're going, no, we need to be on the same team, check each other, punch heads in and everything. She's like, all right, accepted. And he's like, we got to do something about this sexual tension, and she throws it through a wall. Now, normally I don't have a problem with that, but what we've been seeing in Iron Man and what's been alluded to in other stuff is that he just wouldn't be acting that way right now, specifically with what's been kind of going on. So I don't know if it's mainly timeline-wise issue with like what's going on in Avengers here or what's going on in Tony or whatnot, but it just seemed kind of weird that it would go that way. I understand Tony trying to make light of a situation, but I'm like, okay. So hopefully that kind of pairing relationship shakes out. I don't really completely put it on Jason Aaron. He had to have a strange strange dynamic to have to go on with Tony and Carol with what had went on with Civil War II anyway, so it's just kind of trying to shake that out. So hopefully it smooths out going forward. Another big development that we get onto is that T'Challa has been named the chairperson, kind of the leader of the Avengers, and by Cap, Tony, and Thor. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And they're like, new leadership, new age, and of course T'Challa brings up that's not going to be very popular with Washington, and everything's like, Steve goes, doesn't really, nothing we usually do is popular there. So they go and they kind of talk with everybody around an Avengers table, which is pretty sweet. Robbie's like, hey, where's the doctor? He's like, he's got other things to attend to, and everything like that. A thing that I thought was pretty cool was that T'Challa's people were able to do a teleporter kind of thing, and said that he wanted to do the same and link up the Sanctum Sanctorum for Strange, so that way you could, if you needed Doctor Strange really quick, he could come on over. So they're kind of figuring out what's going on, but of course this kind of threat level comes in, and one of the cool things is I've liked that the art that we've got in this one, it fits really well, even though we had a different artist in the previous ones. But one of the coolest things that happens in this is that alarm goes off and Tony's visor goes down, and I just love that it just and we see the kind of movement and everything, even though it's finished. I'm like, that's kind of cool. So a threat has come in, and they have to go and deal with it in this other ocean. And we see that Oxen is up to no good tricks in the ocean, and that Atlanteans had come up to stop them, and that they murdered them, and that's got the ire of Namor, the Submariner, and he's pretty much going to war with the surface world again, and that's not going to be good. So hopefully we'll see some interesting kind of things going on with Namor being on the team, having to deal with what's going on. So I'm really hoping that we get a pretty cool kind of conflict, because you started off with a bang going with the Celestials, so we got to have something kind of big going on to keep this team together, figure out how to help Namor and everything, and I'm just excited to see where this goes. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.